What is the location of the emergency?
You're going to think I'm crazy, that I'm under demonic attack.
Stop where you're at.
There's rocks flying through windows. There's stuff breaking in my house like nothing I've ever seen. You may not believe in that, but you would if you were here.
Paranormal Patrol Podcast.
Welcome back to Paranormal Patrol Podcast. Here with me is Nancy and Brad. I'm Jen. Recently, we went to Boonville, Missouri. And in Boonville, there is a privately owned cemetery with a church. So the history of this property is the Pleasant Hill Church. It was an active church until about 1920. The original building was replaced in 1912. Next to this church is a cemetery, and in that cemetery, it has quite a history. Nancy, this cemetery is owned by a friend of yours, right?
It's a coworker. Yeah, they own the cemetery. Only the cemetery, not the church. They used to own the church, but the church is owned by some farmer now. But yeah, they own the cemetery. She's like the secretary or something like that. She didn't even know that they owned one. Surprise!
Yeah. Hey, you own a lot of dead folks.
Yeah.
Like,
how fun would that be?
So when we went down to this property, okay, so originally I wasn't going to go. And I had a funeral that morning. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going. Like, celebrate the life of a dead person and go try to talk to dead people. It worked out perfectly. But on the way, I'm riding and I'm like, where are we going? It was sketchy as hell. Like, we're going down this like back-ass country road, and all of a sudden it's like the grass is getting taller and the road's getting narrow and it looks very like unkept. And I was like talking to myself, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is how you die. Like,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, it was a little sketch. It was a good time though. We got there pretty late. It was dark when we got there. Brad brought the Tesla, which was pretty cool because it has that SLS camera, and we wanted to experiment with that. And I wasn't in the car when he did that, but we had some pretty cool experiences. These guys went in the church because they're way braver than me, and I'm scared of bats. But
there were no bats.
Well, I don't believe you. And
there wasn't.
That's fine. Totally fine. So in the cemetery, there's tons of people, obviously dead people, and there's some stories behind some of the people that are buried there. But what did you guys first experience when we got there? How did you feel when we got there?
Well, it was way out there. I said once we hit that rock gravel road, it was about a 25-minute drive. It was way out there. But yeah, when I first got there, I started getting like the goosebumps. I could tell it was a very active location, and by the end of the night, it was one of our better investigations when it comes to activity. We brought the Tesla to kind of experiment some of those viral videos you see online with the Teslas going through the cemetery. The problem is the cemetery doesn't really have a direct road to drive around the cemetery, so we could only get one angle of the cemetery. And then also after testing the capability of the distance with the Tesla, we realized that if you're going to catch something, it's got to be like right in front of the Tesla.
Good to know.
Yeah, those videos are cool, but with the type of location this cemetery was, there was no road to drive around. We only got one shot, and it was right on the side of the cemetery. And Nancy was walking. This is how we tested it. Nancy was just walking, doing her own investigations inside the cemetery. And we quickly realized, like, we're not even picking Nancy up. She's just walking right in front of us. So that's when we realized, okay, this is not the best cemetery to do the investigation, because you've got to have a way to drive to get real close to the grounds. And it just didn't have the road for us. But it's still cool. We did some tests with it. Speaking about the people in the cemetery, there's a crazy story that we found out through her coworker, and then I know that was part of our investigation, trying to ask questions. Is this person here? And why don't you go and explain a little bit about this individual we were trying to make contact with?
His name was Harold Heckman, and he had apparently shot his wife and a male companion who happened to be at the place wherever she resided. And then he ended up going, the story goes, is he went to the church and killed himself in the church. And in his request, he left a note asking if he could be buried in that cemetery. I think maybe his family, I think his family's buried there, like maybe his mom and dad. So we went in there with the intention of talking to Harold and seeing if we could get anything with that. And then Jen.
That was so weird. So
yeah. You were inner channeling your inner psychic.
I guess, because this has never happened to me before. We were sitting and we were in this cemetery is probably a half acre, maybe an acre square. No bigger than a football field, to give you an idea. And it's kind of sporadic. It's not laid out like a normal cemetery in like these perfect little rows. Things are kind of weird. So we were in the I'll call it the far front corner on the right side.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it and you're looking at the gate, you have the left side, right side. We're in the farthest right corner, and we're just like,
where are you, Harold?
Where are you, Harold? Because we're wandering around like a bunch of idiots. Like, where is this? There's only so many freaking headstones in here, and we couldn't find shit. We were looking for like a half hour, and I'm like, okay, this is fucking stupid. So we're just sitting there, and I'm like, where is it? And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, I closed my eyes, and I was like, if I was Harold Heckman, where would I be?
Where would I ask to be buried?
I know. And then all of a sudden in my head, I started getting these weird thoughts, like just randomly. It was like far left corner. Go to the far left corner and you'll find it. So I'm like, for a minute I ignored it. I was like, well, that's kind of strange. Why would it be over there? Why would I know where this is? So I finally, as we're like, Harold, where you at? Take us to your grave.
Yeah, like
I felt stupid. But I told the guys and Nancy, I was like, far left corner. I was like, let's just do it. In my mind, I'm thinking far left corner. So we walked to the far left corner. I was like in my head, and I'm really serious about it because I was really freaked out and I was getting goosebumps and I was like kind of feeling like I was just feeling it. And I'd never really felt it before. And lo and behold, we take the trek to the edge of the cemetery and walk back to the far left corner. And I look down and it's a flat headstone and it says Harold Heckman. It was in the fucking far left corner of the cemetery.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No, I didn't know it was literally, you found Harold's.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, she walked up. She's like, I found it. And I was like, what?
And Nancy's like, are you kidding me? I was like,
I've
yeah.
been sitting here looking all fucking night.
I was like, in my head, I was just like, a far left corner. And there it is, boom.
Yeah.
And I just sat there for a minute and I was like, okay, that was really weird. It took me like 10 minutes to recollect myself. I was like, that was too much.
Yeah, you were like, I don't like this. I'm freaked out. I don't like this. I'm like, that is so cool. I'd be so cool. I'd be like so stoked.
I was kind of freaked out. Yeah. We found Harold's gravestone. We sat there for a little bit and we talked and we had the EMF reader.
Well, and Frank had put on the headphones to do the Estes, I think it was. And it said like something about my gun. Mm-hmm. And I was like, do you want me to find your gun? And someone responded with, where is it? Or something to that extent. So I thought that we were speaking with Harold.
There was a lot of ties in to the fact that Harold gave us that message and Harold knew we were there and knew why we were there.
There was also a female that kept coming through for Brad too.
There's always a female coming through for Brad.
Shot or something about shot.
I don't blame him.
No. He also gets guys too. Just
he does.
Equal opportunity.
As we realized last time. Yeah. So on top of the weird Harold Heckman experience, like I started getting really freaked out and I started looking it up and I found that some of the police reports and I mean, it did happen. I found newspaper archives, which were really hard to find. For some reason, this story is not well circulated. No. It's very buried. And I don't know if it's because just the nature of the incident or whatever, but it did say Harold Heckman murdered these two people and then
his son years later committed suicide.
Yeah, that's so sad. His son is also dead.
You're talking about all that, I did not know you guys found the grave. And the reason is because I wasn't around you guys during this time. When you guys were at Harold's grave and doing that Estes, I was actually across the cemetery, just kept hitting the EVP. And then we'll get to what we caught later, but when you guys were hearing gun and you were talking with Harold and all that, I caught something that kind of validates what you guys were experiencing at that time, because when I showed you guys what I caught in the cemetery, you guys were like, oh, we're doing this Estes method and Jen's getting all these responses back. And then hearing you talk about Harold's grave, and I don't know why I didn't know about that, but it just kind of puts it all together with what we catch with one of our last ones we're going to share today. But that's a crazy story. I say we start getting into this evidence and show everybody.
Well, do tell, because I have no idea what you picked up.
This first one is me, you, and Nancy. We just got to the cemetery and we're asking, is anybody here with us? So this is the one, I believe you were asking the questions, and we actually catch a really faint response. So let's just go ahead and start with our first one.
Is he the one that allegedly killed himself in the church? Yeah.
Go ahead and play that one more time. It's right at the end.
Is he the one that allegedly killed himself in the church? Yeah. Yeah.
So I know where it comes in at. Jen says something, Nancy says something, and then we catch a EVP. It wasn't one of the better ones, but it was legit a female EVP that comes through. So it was pretty cool. This next one is a similar one. I believe it's when Nancy was asking the questions. We'll go ahead and play this one.
Is there a Harold Hickman here? Died on my birthday. With us?
Did you catch that? All right, so play it again. Nancy says, you died on my birthday, and then we catch something. So let's play it again for the audience and for you guys to hear it again. Nancy says, you died on my birthday, and then listen.
Is there a Harold Hickman here? Died on my birthday. With us?
That female behind. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can hear it.
Yeah, so the EVP session we just listened to, again, there was Nancy asking about Harold. She says something about, you died on my birthday, and then we catch a female voice coming in. After I listened to it a few times, to me, it sounds like a female voice saying, you are, but, I'll let you guys listen to it and see what you guys hear. Then we make our way into the church. So me, Nancy, and Jason go into the church, and we are just doing different EVP sessions, SLS sessions. So this one is right when we get into the church. We start doing an EVP session and we catch something. So this photo is Nancy just taking shots all around the cemetery. Or the church. I mean, I've looked at this photo a lot, so I'm going right to where I can see, but to the right of the photo, you can see...
It does look like a body.
And you're right, like an apparition coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the first thing that caught our attention. So then I went ahead and zoomed in, and I kind of started pointing to the area. So let's go ahead and look at this next one. And that kind of helps show what we caught. I see a shoulder, a head, I see the arms going down to the body. Yeah, that's a great piece of evidence. I mean,
there was no fog, there was no wind. You were inside of a building. There's
nothing.
Every other picture is clear.
I also think that happened to be when we were using your SLS. Mm-hmm. And there was like a stick figure there. So I thought, I'll just take a picture just to see what happens. And of course, I didn't look at it right away, but I think it correlated to where it was showing what we were seeing on your screen too. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I love this piece of evidence.
I'm the photographer of the group.
Right. I know her photos come out
Nice job.
nice, yeah.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
this is a really good piece. I mean, you got the head and the shoulder and the arms. I mean, a lot of times apparitions will come through and it's like a fog circle starting to appear. I mean, we got like, it looks like almost 50% of the body already appearing besides the bottom half, you know? Like this is a really good shot.
Yeah, visual shots are very rare.
Very
Yeah.
rare. So this is a good one to kind of show you guys. Our SLS was picking up something. We took some photos and then we actually caught something. So yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. And then we start going into the SLS evidence that we caught, and it was a pretty active night for SLS. We're just going to show you kind of our, better SLS ones for the night. So this first one is there's a figure that just pops up and it looks like it's hanging from the top. So we'll go ahead and let you guys see what we caught.
Huh.
Yeah.
So the figure's head right now is hanging from the top beam of the church. And that's us asking questions. Is it Harold Hickman? We got the left arm to go up. We got the right arm to go up. I felt pretty confident that we were actually communicating with Harold.
If this is Harold Hickman, can you please raise your left arm? If this is Harold Hickman, can you please raise your right arm? If this is Harold Hickman, can you please put your arm down?
And we catch the arms to go up. And then that's just us just showing you guys nothing is there, We got no shots of any other person that could have been hanging from the ceiling.
And there's nothing there that
would have made a figure like that.
And I think there was two different things. I think that we got that one. Are we also going to ignore the fact that we all had to jump the fuck up to get up in that goddamn thing?
Yeah.
Like someone had to hoist me up.
Watching you jump through the window because there's no stairs was pretty entertaining.
I'm short as shit.
And I just want to say, like, how brave you are to just randomly, like, who the fuck does that? Like, in reality, like,
just go in.
Random ass. Let's go jump in this window
Why
of a
not?
random church in the middle of nowhere.
Why not? That's how Brad and I get stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I should get hazard pay. I got tetanus shot. Almost had to get a tetanus shot from this. Damn.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Stepped on a damn nail. So, yeah, I love this piece. I really feel confident we were interacting with Harold through the night. This is just another piece to kind of validate, us and Harold communicating that night. And then the other SLS is, so Iacona, Jason, he was kind of standing out in the middle of the church, and we were doing a session. So this is Iacona and a spirit coming through. So I kind of labeled so you guys can see who's who.
Am I right? Everything else is fine.
Cindy, let him know if...
So we got a spirit hanging from the top again, and we got Iacona.
Cindy?
And then...
Oh, I got the chills.
There we go. Well, then we got...
Or is it a Jeffrey that they wanted me to ask about you? Any of the family. Either Cindy...
So, yeah.
or
This is
Jeffries.
But do you
Did have a
remember
picnic out
when
here?
that-
I was told you had a picnic
when it
on
left?
the grounds.
I felt like a breeze. You and I both felt a
Oh,
breeze.
yeah.
I was like, I just felt someone like...
There was, and it was like in the middle of this church. I mean, the church had no broken walls. I mean, it was just a box, a square box. So for a draft to come through the way we felt it,
yeah.
that was that also helped me kind of solidify that something was definitely around us. So we had some more SLS, but I'm not gonna bore you guys. I mean, that was kind of the best of what we caught when it comes to the SLS. And then we go right into the response. right there. So let's go ahead and play this and see what we catch.
EVP session begin. Brad, Nancy, Iacona, Pleasant Hill Church.
Hey, Harold. I know you left a note in here. After you killed yourself, you left a suicide note. Are you stuck here?
I heard something say yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So just
Towards the end.
right. It was Nancy saying her last sentence, her last question, and then listen for a voice to come through right at the end.
I know you left a note in here. After you killed yourself, you left a suicide note. Are you stuck here?
Yes.
It's like, yes.
Yeah.
Man.
It's very faint, but you can hear it. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah, that's
There's
crazy.
no denying it.
There's crazy.
Yeah.
That place. All right. This next one, again, this is just us just trying to get Harold to give us some answers. So we're just asking some more questions, and we'll see what we catch.
How old are you?
What?
Whoa.
What does that even say?
What? Yeah, replay
Yeah,
that.
let's play it
That was
again.
definitely a female's voice.
How old are you?
So yeah, I've been trying to make out an age of what I hear. So sorry for you everybody. I couldn't make out a specific age from the questions. Maybe somebody else can.
It almost sounds like. Can you play it one more time?
How old are you?
Don't know is what I keep hearing, but that may not be right.
Yeah. See, I kept trying to think of numbers, so I wasn't thinking of anything else. But yeah, it's crazy. But so this one we were out in the cemetery, and as you guys can hear the bugs in the back. But yeah, that was a really good one.
That was a good one.
That kind of caught me off guard because I was just asking, question after question, nothing, and then this comes through, and I was like, oh shit.
And I want to note that this has not been manipulated anyway. It hasn't been enhanced or edited, and there was only us out there in a quiet, empty cemetery, so there's no background noise other than the bugs. So for it to be anything other than something supernatural would be really interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because we're also in the middle of nowhere where you can't even get any radio frequency interference.
There wasn't even a house close by.
Right. So any kind of background interference, yeah.
Because we've been places where there's people outside talking,
Yeah.
and it's hard to differentiate. But this one, there's nothing.
Yeah. So, yeah. So let's move right on to the next one.
What's next?
Yeah. No, the next one, the last one. Next one is the one that are probably our best EVP of the night, and to kind of bring back where we are. Jen was doing her S's method, and everybody besides me was over there doing the S's method. I was across the cemetery, and I was just ranging off questions, just doing session after session. And around the same time, Jen is getting reaction from her S's method. You heard a gun, somebody heard a gun, something, and then I catch an EVP. So this is me trying to ask Harold, like what did he do? How did he do the crime or the murder? So let's hear what we caught.
Can you come through? Tell me how you killed your girlfriend.
Oh, I was shot. That's what I heard.
Yes, shot.
I was shot.
I don't know if I was shot or if it was 2 shots. So, yeah.
Play it again.
But
that's a really good one. Gets me excited.
Can you come through? Tell me how you killed Your girlfriend.
Okay, I just want to
shot.
I just want to point out before that happens, you hear an energy go, like a buzzing energy in the recording. Like it's like, here we go.
Like something's trying to come through.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that happens
And that does
to you
happen.
every time you
yeah.
get an EVP.
But she wasn't buried there. The wife wasn't buried there.
Maybe she's just
And the little backstory was she had asked for a divorce. I think that's what made him shoot her.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, but she was not buried there that I know of.
Yeah. I mean, that one, that was good. And but just to piggyback off what you just said, that happens a lot. And then and I've caught on to that. I've just never said nothing on the podcast or anything. But when I've picked up EVPs, not every EVP, but a lot of the EVPs, you'll hear like an energy or like
a
distortion, something trying to interact with whatever device you're using. Sometimes it's the phone, sometimes it's a digital recorder, and you can hear that energy, that distortion, and then boom, an EVP comes through. Yeah, let's do that one again. I like that one.
Can you come through? Tell me how you killed your girlfriend.
Oh, I hear it. Like the buzzing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I hear it.
And it comes like out of nowhere.
That's the first time I've ever heard it. I'll have to pay more attention now.
Yeah. And a lot of times his before he's like catching it, you'll hear just like a
yes, like something trying to come through. Yeah. Because these spirits, they use energy, and the energy we have is our digital recorders, our phones, our cameras. So it's going to interact with that, and you're just trying to think of the process of a spirit coming through, and that's what I think. I think distortion of your equipment, energy pushing through there, making like a distorted sound, and yeah, let's go ahead, do it one more time for the audience.
Can you come through? Tell me how you killed your girlfriend.
Yeah. And there's no explanation for that.
No.
That's none of our voices. That's too muffled and backgroundy to be anything else. And we catch these right away. So we're usually listening to this stuff on the way home. That's crazy, Brad. That's a good catch. Yeah. That's a banger, dude.
Yeah.
That's the best one of the night.
Yeah, so that was our last EVP of the night. I hope you guys, enjoyed the evidence we caught. But the whole paranormal activity never stopped there. I mean, from this investigation, we have stuff that affected a couple of our team members after this investigation. And there's a couple links there that, I'll point out. But I feel like at first we left, and then you had an interaction, Nancy, right?
Yeah, I was at home. I was by myself because the kids weren't there. And I swear I heard Adriana go, "Mom." And I heard it twice.
Like a mimic? Yes.
And I was like, that's kind of weird. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, they're not home. And I just kind of went about my day because I was working. But I heard it. It's been the second time that I've heard that. And I had happened to just mention it to Frank and was like, yeah, I heard Adriana say my name or just say Mom when no one was home, which was really weird. I wasn't freaked out or anything. I was just kind of like, okay, I get it. I'm acknowledging that someone's trying to come through, and kind of moved on. But funny thing is that.
Yeah. So after Nancy mentioned something to Frank, I had an issue or instance where, so the Tesla that we drove down that night, that's my dad's Tesla. So after the investigation, my dad came over. I think it's like he came over for dinner, and then he said something to me. He's like, "Have you ever had anything like follow you home from one of your investigations?" I said, and I told him, "No, not that I've experienced, not yet." And I said, "Why?" He was like, "Well, the last few nights, every time, like around 2 or 3 in the morning, I'll hear, some type of loud, like hey, or a voice in the house, to where my dad will go check, or my mom will tell my dad, hey, I heard something over there, and he goes, checks, nothing. And then my dad says, if it's not a voice I hear, it's something touching my leg around 3 a.m. to wake me up. And then the last one, he goes, so these are all separate days. And then the last one, he said, yeah, well, around like 2 or 3 in the morning, the TV in the guest room just blares really loud. And he goes and turns it off. So after that last one, so this was probably like a week's worth of stuff. Then I said something on our text thread, and I was like, yeah, so my dad's been, encountering something, ever since we got back from this investigation. And then that's when Frank mentioned to me about Nancy hearing her name being called, but she's thinking it's her daughter saying it, but it's the daughter's voice. But, so I mean, I feel like on my end, there could have been a spirit that was attached with the Tesla going home. The Tesla's my dad, so I give the Tesla back. And then now something was messing around at his house. So, yeah, that was a crazy aftermath. And that's exactly why, when you go out, you have got to be protected. You can't be stupid. You can't be, trying to encounter a spirit. You don't want to go out there trying to, be challenged, antagonize. That's
dangerous.
Rookie 101 stuff. You cannot do that. There's plenty of evidence out there showing you don't do that, and we don't. I mean, you guys have been listening to our stuff. You've never had an instance where you've seen one of us just screaming and trying to get an interaction, and that's why you don't do that kind of stupid shit when you're on scene.
I really want to go back out there because I think that it's a good spot. It's a hot
great spot. Yeah, hot spot.
I don't even know if anybody has ever done this before.
No, I don't think
so.
They
These are spirits that have been sitting out there alone.
Yeah.
For decades, that haven't been able to share their story, that haven't been able to interact with people, that have bent up energy, that they're able to communicate with us. Maybe it's just going to take longer because they've never done it before.
Yeah. I mean,
and maybe that's why they followed you home.
Yeah.
Because they're like, these people want to talk to me.
Yeah.
I have things to say.
I know.
But why the mimic?
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
Yeah.
That is strange. I don't know.
I had it happen 2 separate occasions. And it happened after we had gone to the cemetery. It happened 1 week, and then I can't tell you the time difference between the second time around and I was like, I'm not going to say anything to Frank about this one because I was just like, whatever. And the second one, I was just kind of like, okay, well, maybe I'll just toss it out there to see, maybe it'll stop. It hasn't happened since. It was just those 2 separate instances that it happened. And and it was Adriana's voice, and she said, Mom, and I was like, that's weird. And I just kind of went about my day both times until I said something to him, and then it stopped after that.
Yeah. I after a week of stuff with my dad, it stopped too.
Weird.
But yeah, super weird. But yeah, but I agree. I think we're fortunate as a team. I mean, there's not many teams that have go-to places that no one else knows about, and we have 2, and we have 2 very active ones that it's not going to be boring, like we can do multiple episodes on, to show everybody that spiritual warfare is real. I mean, spirits are real, and we have 2 places that are very active that we can show everybody, that who are on the, they don't know, is ghost real or not,
People on the fence.
Yeah, people on the fence. I mean, it's so for us to have 2 very active locations that we can actually do different type of experiments and, different different type of investigations so we can, get this evidence to show people. Not a lot of teams have that, and we have two, and it's cool to have.
I would love a non-believer to try to explain some of the stuff that we have happened.
Yeah.
It's just like, if you didn't believe before, go on an investigation with Brad, and you'll believe when you get done.
Yeah.
So,
the crap we're catching.
Yeah, it's wild. So we also have some residential investigations that we've been invited out to. So hopefully we'll be able to get those underway. And then
we do.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
We have 2 spots that we were informed about that we've been invited out to.
Okay.
Local spots.
Nice.
So
We got some stuff brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we got the
Manor.
The Manor. We got that one coming.
Took a 4.5-hour drive to the middle of nowhere, Iowa. Nobody goes to Iowa for anything.
4.5-hour drive to hit a 7-hour investigation and a 4-hour, like a 5-hour sleep and a 4-hour drive back. I mean, yeah.
I didn't do that one.
That's the type of weekends I like.
I stayed back. I had to deal with, clinicals and homecoming. So,
mom life.
Life. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, big shout out to. I don't know if I really want to say her name on here, but big shout out to my coworker for suggesting this place and her family letting us go out there and do an investigation.
For sure.
Yeah.
We got a lot more to hit out there, I think.
Yeah, and they are totally fine with us going back out there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
Yep.
Sweet.
This was a good one.
Yep.
Yep.
It was.
Awesome. Well, I guess
Okay.
that wraps it up
Yeah.
for season 3, whatever episode we end up making this. So thank you for joining us.
All right.
Bye.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the official Paranormal Patrol podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also follow us on all of our socials to be notified about new episode drops and get up-to-date news on all of our current and upcoming investigations. We'll see you out there.